Hey Reddit, I'm a 25-year-old guy who finally had enough of being overlooked and decided to do something about it. Here's my story. Growing up, it was always clear that my brother, Jake 27, was the golden child. He was the star athlete, the straighter student, and the one my parents always bragged about. Don't get me wrong, I love my brother, but the favoritism was painfully obvious. I was an average kid. I got decent grades, participated in a few extracurricular activities, but nothing that made my parents beam with pride the way Jake did. Whenever I achieved something, it was quickly overshadowed by Jake's latest accomplishment. If I got a B on a tough test, Jake would get an A. If I made the JV basketball team, Jake would be the captain of the varsity team. It all came to a head last year when I graduated from college. Due to financial constraints, I had to work part-time and take out loans to cover my tuition. My parents didn't help much because they were saving for Jake's medical school at my graduation. They didn't even bother to show up. They were busy helping Jake move into his new apartment closer to campus. That was the last straw for me. I decided it was time to prioritize myself. I graduated with a degree in computer science and landed a great job at a tech company. I worked hard, saved money, and finally moved into my own apartment. Meanwhile, Jake was still living off my parents' dime and struggling with med school. Here's where karma kicked in. I got an incredible opportunity to move abroad for work. It was a dream job with a fantastic salary. I took it without hesitation. Once I was settled, I stopped all communication with my parents and Jake. No calls, no texts, nothing. I focused on my career and my happiness for the first time in my life. Months went by, and I thrived in my new environment. My parents started reaching out more frequently, but I ignored them. It wasn't until last week that I finally decided to see what they wanted. Turns out, Jake had dropped out of med school. The pressure was too much, and he crumbled. Now my parents were in financial trouble because they had taken out loans to support Jake's education. They begged me to come back and help out, even suggesting I send them money to cover their debts. I calmly told them no. I reminded them of how they neglected me and how I had to fend for myself. I wasn't about to sacrifice my well-being for the family that never supported me. I blocked them after that call. I feel a bit guilty, but mostly liberated. For the first time, I'm living for myself, and it feels incredible. So Reddit, AITA for cutting ties with my family and refusing to bail them out after years of neglect,